Hello, welcome back everybody. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, and obviously we're going to have to look at XRP, but also I'm going to take a quick look at the end of the video, don't worry, at CNS. If you don't know much about CNS, don't worry about it, but if you do want to get involved, get yourself a Probit account, definitely. I think this one's going to take one big next leg down where we want to fill up some buy orders. So set yourself a Probit account up, links at the bottom of the video, but we'll leave that to the end because it's not for everybody. Right, so let's start with Bitcoin. So what's going on? Basically the same as we were saying yesterday. We broke above the 10 exponential moving average, and it would appear that we're testing that as a level of support at the moment. So if you don't know, that's this orangey one. So just a bit of context, we rode that. Generally this is what you want to do on like a bullish trend on the short term. You want to see if we're getting launches and supports on there, which is what we were doing on Bitcoin and on XRP, and then coming down to test it, carrying it on, testing it, carrying it on. Then when we finally did break down beneath it, it was the center of the Bollinger Band, so I then back above it to test it and test it and test it. There are other obviously areas of support and resistance here, but the 10 exponential generally dictates a shorter term trend, and what we're looking to do now is to see if there's a trend reversal. It's been downtrending for a little while. We want to see if it's going to uptrend again. So this is the first thing that I will be looking for, to see if that trend has changed to an uptrend, or is there any more room to go down. So that's one of the main things I'm looking at the moment. So what we saw is that when we came down beneath it, we were getting rejected from it, rejection, closing beneath it, rejection, and then yesterday we broke above it. It was very good, and then basically essentially got rejected at the center of the Bollinger Band. And again, we've seen that today. But the good thing is that today we've got support as this video stands at this moment in time. Anyway, we do have support on that 10 exponential. So if this carries on this way, then that will get a curve on it, and we'll start to show that the downtrend is over, basically. So other indicators on Bitcoin. I know it's boring to look at Bitcoin, but if we want to know about XRP, we have to know what the general health is of Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin is not healthy, XRP is very unlikely to move as a result of an unhealthy Bitcoin. And still getting more and more ticks on the histogram to the up, avoiding that 0 point on the MACD cross, which is good. And perhaps maybe if we can carry this on for a little bit longer, or just even snake sideways, we'll end up with a positive cross. But this kind of slow movement is not going to happen anytime soon. But so long as we don't go beneath the 0 point on the MACD, things should be okay. We shouldn't be looking for that big steep drop. But if we were to get the steep drop, the first opportunities for rebounds would be around 11,000 flat, and then 10,500, which is this blue box area here. We are above the Ichimoku cloud, which is all nice and green. So, and as far as all these other moving averages are concerned, they're diverging away quite nicely. They're in a nice even spread. This is kind of what you want to see in a bullish trend. So technically, the vast majority of this chart is actually still bullish. I think what we're doing is we're cooling off, we're consolidating from this big move, and this will transfer over to what we're going to look at now with XRP. So a little bit more tools involved in charting this one, because there's more moves, percentage wise, to be had on XRP than there is on Bitcoin. So just to explain what we're looking at here, so we had this big downwards trend, which was the consolidation from the all-time high 2018, and we broke out of that once and then finally a second time. So we broke out of that was looking really good. That's kind of what Bitcoin did recently when it broke above its descending trend. Have we got an example of that? Yeah, here we go. So this is Bitcoin's descending trend all the way down, and then we broke out of it. So the same sort of deal, and a big bold move as a result. Apart from Bitcoin did that on the 24th of July, and XRP did that on the 9th of February. So the consolidation ended before with XRP, way ahead of Bitcoin. So the way I'm looking at this is that this is all now an accumulation phase for XRP, and it's not going to be the downtrending forever coin that we saw in the last previous years. Technically, Bitcoin was also a downtrending coin for the last couple of years. It did do some big moves to get to its all-time high, but arguably, factually, XRP did a much bigger move in a short space of time, so its consolidation probably looked a little bit more obvious, whereas Bitcoin's was very choppy and did a big sort of, I suppose, like Dogecoin style pumps, but it couldn't break out of its consolidation trend. So in that respect, I'll probably say I could probably argue the fact that this is a healthier looking chart, as this consolidation is what you'd expect to see. This is true consolidation after a giant, big, massive, super 7,000% in 3 weeks move, which is basically what happened with XRP. It didn't happen with Bitcoin. So we're out of that trend with both Bitcoin and XRP. So what's going on now then? So if you looked at my long-term analysis on this, I've charted a giant Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high to the all-time low, and it basically says that the accumulation period price-wise for XRP is anything as low as, well, its lowest low around 10 cent to as high as 86 cent. All of that area is consolidation. So when you bear that in mind and you think, well, when that bubble pops, when that that accumulation phase up to 86 cent pops, then we could be looking at 1,000% move from there. So 1,000% from 86 cents, $8.60. So that would be I suppose the conservative way to look at it if we're looking at fractals and the way that the chart worked in the past, and being conservative around how that works. So consolidation, accumulation ends at a certain level. The first level of that Fibonacci retracement, 86 cent, when that pops, you could be expecting a 10x. So a 10x from there is, like I say, $8.60. So that's kind of in the middle of where I'll be looking at. I could say that this could go as, could reach a lower, the lowest high of around about $2. But I think it will surprise people when it actually comes around to taking place, and that fib retracement target area gets met of 86 cent, and it will surprise people. No one expects these sort of things, and you see it all the time still, almost on a weekly basis, where coins just rocket up out of nowhere, just go bonkers crazy, and they've got large market caps, some of these too. It doesn't seem to matter, they just go up anyway. The chart is telling me that that's what's going to happen. Doesn't mean it's going to do 1,000x, but it would do some significant, big, fast, strong moves in a short space of time after it reaches 86 cent. 86 cents, by the way, would be a resistance, so bear that in mind, but once that's taken out, big time. Anyway, so let's have a look at the short term. So that's what we really want to look at, I assume. So we've got a golden cross, which is great. So all of this, as far as moving averages are concerned, and the Ichimoku cloud, which are above, is good. We're more or less above all major moving averages. And again, yesterday we broke above the 10 exponential, and we're kind of a little bit below it at the moment. We hit this resistance box also, this big blue box here. That starts in at around about 28 cent. And why is that like that? That's annoying. But basically 28 cent to 31 cent is our super resistance box. We also have a pitchfork tool in here showing that basically everything is good unless we break down beneath it here. Now, because we've got a green 50 exponential underneath us, we've also got this Ichimoku cloud underneath us, and we've got this pitchfork tool going up also. I don't think we have a great deal to worry about of breaking down beneath it, but if we did, 26 cent would be the area where I'd expect to bounce, and if that breaks down, then we're coming probably down to this level here around 23 cent, and that would be a super bounce. You watched my video a few days ago about anticipating the super mega bounce. That's what we'll be looking to buy up, because this will bounce big time, much bigger than Bitcoin, for instance. Bitcoin is it's good, but it's not going to bounce like this would bounce. If this hit this level, it would bounce massively. I mean, we're talking 5%, really fast. So as far as time frames are concerned, we've got our histogram is ticking up just like Bitcoin. Our money flow index is surprisingly low, and if this is another reason why we'd find a super mega bounce. If we drop down beneath this level here, this would also fire up the super bounce, the mega bounce, because any tick below this little dotted area here is basically way oversold and ready for a big bounce. Anyway, as far as CNS is concerned, we'll just finish on this. If you wanted to get involved in this, I would get some buy orders below 0.002 cent, so 0.2 of a cent. Buy orders around there. We are looking for big moves on here. It does look like it wants to curl over and drop down again, so buy orders around these levels would certainly be good. So anywhere between 0.002 and 0.0015 get yourself a Probit account, get that set up. I'd say I'm not a financial advisor, so this isn't financial advice, this is what I'm doing, but I'm looking for some big moves on this one definitely over this next year, and buying down at these levels would be absolutely crucial to making some massive gains on it. Don't use tons of money because the volume isn't massive. A couple of $100 should be fine, that's all I use. But the gains could be 5, 10, 20x by the end of the year. So, but like I say, don't go crazy, don't put loads of money into it, because it is a low cap coin. Low cap means low volume, so low liquidity. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.